I found out that I got nominated for the award, I was at lunch and my plate got put down and then my phone was next to it, and then it was my agent, and I was like, all right, better take the disappointing call, and walked over to the window and I said, hey mate, how you going? And he went, I'm good, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine. And I said, all right, you can just tell me. And then he said, it gives me great pleasure. And I went, no. And he went, to tell you that you're on the shortlist. And then I cried. And then I put the phone on to my other Australian manager who was there. And then I called my husband, and then I cried to him. And then I called my publicist, and then she came up the road to meet me. And then we hugged, and then we cried. And then I had a cigarette in the gutter. Very on brand for me.
So I found out I was nominated at about 2:40 yesterday, and so the awards come out at 3, and I didn't have like a sneaking suspicion that it was going to happen, but I found out about an hour before they were announced that like suddenly a bunch of newspapers had been booked in to review it, and I thought, well, this is all very weird. And then my agent rang me while I was in the living room with my other housemates, and she said, I'm delighted to inform you you are one of 2018's Best Comedy Show nominees. And then I started openly weeping, and it was embarrassing. And then I rang my director, and then I rang my parents, and then I had to ring my agent back again just to check that she had definitely said yes and that it was definitely a nominated show. And then after that, I sort of put it on social media and then immediately regretted it because it was just all too sort of too much to take in. It was all very overwhelming. So it was an amazing experience, but a really very, very surreal one. I didn't really have any idea how I'd find out, and but it was nice.
I found out I was having coffee with someone, and I was checking my phone, and there was about 5 missed calls from my agent and about 10 WhatsApp messages. So that's how I found out. Very underwhelming.
I found out when I was in my flat with my mate Sophie, and my agent Hannah gave me a text saying you're on the shortlist, but I can't chat right now. I'm in a meeting. And so I was like, I've never heard of it called the shortlist before, I've heard of it being called the nomination list. So I was a bit like, and I kind of like, hold on, have I been? And then I got a phone call of my PR Mel, who told us, and just was like pure jumping around the flat and gave my mate Sophie a hug.
I found out in an underpass, rather bizarrely. I was heading home, I was sort of needed a bit of a lie down in the afternoon, and I was in the underpass and my agent rang me, and I was convinced that it wasn't true, so I got her to repeat it 3 times because this show's so weird and sort of quite obscure in terms of its subject matter that it seemed unbelievable that it was nominated, and she eventually was able to convince me that it was the truth, and so I ran out of the underpass into the Pleasance Dome where my other half was waiting, and ran into his arms and sort of broke down a bit, which was fun because we weren't meant to let anyone know for a while, but I think anyone in the Pleasance Dome at that time would have had maybe a pretty good idea. So yeah, it was a fun way to spend the middle of the afternoon.
I found out that I was nominated when I got to the back of my show, so the sort of announcements happened while I was on stage, and I found out 15 minutes later as I was walking back to the room, at the back of the room, and my manager and director and staff were there, and gave me a big hug, and then I slunk off and had a cry, and my manager held my bucket for the end of my free-for-in show, and it was very odd because I was then like taking contactless card payments on my phone with tears just streaming down my face.
My agent called me and he said, Alex, and I went, all right, Chris. He said, I've been trying to reach you for the last hour. And I was like, yeah, I've been in a podcast. And then he said, I'm delighted to tell you. And then he didn't finish the sentence because I started just screaming over and over again, like, no, because I couldn't. And I was in this like little park, and I was running around the park with the phone like attached to my ear, like, no. And it was one of the best professional moments of my life. It was very cool. I felt like I had asked somebody out on a date, and they said yes. But, yep, not finished though, are we? It was wonderful.